Good evening, everybody, and welcome along to this live edition of SportsView, our new program here on learmedia.tv. And we're delighted to launch it here tonight. And we will have some people joining us as on the course of the evening. We'll be on there for the next two to 3 hours here live with all things sport. But we'll concentrate here in the first part of the show for all your golf enthusiasts on the US Open. Began this morning, our time, on Brookline in Massachusetts. It's over there in the United States. And the last time I looked, Rory Mcilroy was in the clubhouse at -3, and they were all out. So now, obviously, we'll bring up to dates on the US Open as we go along during the course of the evening. Or we'll be looking at the other Irish people, competitors on the US Open as well. That's Shane Lowry and Seamus Power. They're just about after 5 or 6 or 7 holes in. And as I said, we'll be concentrating on a few marquee players. It's our own personal opinion, my own personal opinion. Justin Thomas was in great form at the Canadian Open there recently, and I believe he could be well in contention. I would think he would. He has all the talent to do so anyway, as well as McIlroy, of course, who won the Canadian Open, the Rbc Canadian Open last week. So those two golfers, Scotty Scheffler as well, Adam Scott, who I particularly like, the veteran Adam Scott. I think he's at -1 the last time I looked. He's going well as well. And it'll be interesting to see some of the golfers who participated in the LIV Golf, the first edition of LIV Golf there last week as well. And Louis Oosthuizen was under them. I think he's +1 or 2 the last time I looked. But as I said, I think he's +2 after 4 holes. And that's a couple of holes back now. But anyway, we'll be keeping an eye on him. Kevin Na, of course, who as well participated. He's at -1 the last time after 6 holes. Going reasonably well. And there's a golfer at the top of the field, Taryn, who I don't know much about. So if anybody knows anything about him, you can post in a comment and fill us in the details. But we'll be bringing all the other details on those later on. Anyway, and I can see that John Ram is at -1 as well. Marikama is at -1. So there's a lot of familiar names. Bryson DeChambeau, who's at -1. Phil Mickelson is just beginning his round. And of course, we will keep you informed of all of those as we go along in the course of the evening. That's the US Open golf. We'll be looking at the ladies as well, the USL golf, since we're covering golf, and our own. We're broadcasting here from Limerick in Ireland, and as I said, it's 8:40 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time, 8:40 p.m. in the evening, and wherever you are, whatever time it is, you're welcome to join in. If you want to join us here in the studio, please feel free to do so. And you can just send us your email in the comments, and we will send you the link, and we'll be happy to have talk all things golf or any other sport that you may feel inclined to speak about. Now, obviously, we're keeping an eye on the ladies' tournament as well. A lot of the I suppose the main names in the world of ladies golf, Jessica Cord, I see, is on the list, as well as our own Leona Maguire, who's doing well in the paid ranks. I mean, it's tough going. I mean, you know, the world of golf, it's obviously it's an individual sport, so you have to have a different type of resilience to draw on, and I suppose power of the individual is paramount in a game like that, you know. But as I said, a lot of those, like, for instance, just go back to the US Open for a minute. People like Taryn from Britain, Lingbyth from Sweden, McIlroy from Northern Ireland, Demon from America, they all finished with 67. So they're in the clubhouse, safely ensconced with a -3. It's 70 is the country club in Brookline. Buckley, that's a very Irish name, but he's American. He finished at -2. Naismith finished -2. Harmon finished at -2. Wise finished at -2. And Grizzer is at -2 after 6 holes. And there's a whole plethora of golfers, as we said, finished at -1, including Morikama and Ram and Adam Scott and Zalatoris. They're all on -1. And I see Seamus Power from Ireland has gone into -1 after seven holes. Matt Fitzpatrick, who played a great game in the Canadian Open as well, leading for a long time. Matt Fitzpatrick from England, he's at -1 after 7 holes as well, so he's doing very well as well. Woodland is -1 after 5, and I'm just trying to scroll down here, lads, looking at the rest of the field. We can't name them all out because we're here. Finau, who had a good tournament in Canada as well. Tony Finau, he's even after 8 holes, and Justin Johnson, he's even, steady, Justin, after 7 holes. So Shane Lowry is even after 6, and DeChambeau, who's just dropped back to even after 5 holes. So they're all doing reasonably well in the thing. I'm just trying to find Mickelson. I don't know where he is. I know where he is, but I don't know where he's in scoring. Louis Oosthuizen, as we said, is +2 after 6, so he's not moved yet after that, but that's steady enough, I suppose. I suppose when you look at it, the first round of any major is paramount of importance to players. They'll be looking for, I suppose, something to keep touch with. Obviously, if the finishing point is -3, they want to be up around level par or -1, just to keep pace with the field, because you can fall 5, 6, 7 shots behind. Sergio Garcia at the moment is +3 after 8 holes. So Sergio would be a veteran now, of course. Sergio, he played in the Live Golf tournament as well last week over there in England, and I think he did. Phil Mickelson, I just found him. Phil Mickelson is at the moment after 6 holes, he's at +5, and really, I won't say he's struggling yet, because Mickelson has so much talent still at the age of 52, and it's incredible. He became the oldest winner on the PGA Tour, the oldest winner of a major, 50 years and a couple of months when he won the PGA. So, you don't know what Phil. He looked a bit slimmer as well. You won't mind me saying that. He looked fitter. That's what I'm trying to say when he played over there in England. And hopefully he'll have a good tournament. They'll all have a good tournament, hopefully, but they all can't qualify for the weekend. So today is a day whereby steady but not spectacular golf. And then tomorrow, Friday, will be the second round. And after Friday, then there'll be decisions made. Well, they'll all make them themselves anyway, a cut-off point. But I have a feeling myself that depending on the weather, of course, it's -3 now is headlining the thing. But obviously, if you have come this time tomorrow evening or later, if the scoring is low, all right, -7 or -8, leading the competition, well, then you'll have a big scramble, because you must be within 10 shots on the first 68 or 70, I forget now again, of the leader. So, obviously, you'll have to really, in a major, you'll have to get off to a very good start. I know it's an old cliche when you say that, but you really, really have to do that and get off to a fantastic start. And obviously, and during the course of the evening, don't forget, by the way, actually, to press the red button on the right-hand side to subscribe to our channel, and feel free to tell your friends we're streaming live tonight on our YouTube channel on Lair Media. And if you want to join us here in the studio, just send us your email, and we'll send you the link to come into the studio and chat away to us, which would be fantastic, really, But as we were talking about the wonderful Phil Mickelson, Phil, I suppose, look, there has been a lot of discussion because of the Live Golf thing, and unfortunately, we covered it on our other podcasts here, The Final Whistle, about Rory Mcilroy. And Rory Mcilroy, there's a time comes when you should stop talking about something that has happened, in my opinion. That's only my opinion. And McIlroy again today was going on about the Live Golf tournament. They don't need any more publicity from Rory McIlroy, because everybody knows about it, And we don't know what will pan out in the end, whether that tournament will become, as we say, side by side with the other tours. established and bedded down. We don't know that. Money doesn't necessarily mean success. You know, we can see that with the amount of money that's being spent in other sports as well. Like I can think of soccer, you know, although sometimes you can buy a title, and I don't mean buy a title. What I mean by that is if you have enough money or the availability of enough money in a soccer club, you can compete and buy the most expensive and sometimes the very talented players that you can assemble. Obviously, the trick is to assemble them and mold them into a winning team, a winning formula, if you follow my drift. So therefore, it is important, the money, but it can only go so far, because you can have 11 talented players on a soccer team, but if they're not playing as a team, if they're not gelling as a team, if they're not united as a team, if they're an appreciation and understanding of each other's and an admiration of each other's skills accumulated by the team, well, then obviously, as a club and as a team, you would struggle. So it doesn't necessarily mean success because Manchester United, as a club, just to divert for a minute, has spent an awful lot of money in the last 3 or 4 years. So money unwisely spent or not wisely spent doesn't necessarily mean you'll have success. So there are many other elements as well. That's what I'm trying to say. But money goes a long ways, because a talented player to become, like for instance, recently Liverpool bought Nunes from Benfica, and he's only 21 years of age, so he's a pretty exciting talent, pretty exciting player. I don't know how he'll adapt to the English game. I don't know that. He's been playing with Benfica in the Portuguese league, which would have be a different kettle of fish altogether than competing here in Britain in the Premier League, whereby he would be coming up with probably very, very top class players, world class players in many teams in the Premiership. He wouldn't have necessarily that amount of people to contend with, with all due respect to the Portuguese league. So, you know, the money and the prestige is in the Premiership in Britain, in the Italian league, in the French league, so in the German league, the Bundesliga. So really, he wouldn't be, subjected to a big test as he will be in the Premiership. But I dare say he's well aware of that, and we wish him well with Liverpool. I hope he gels in straight away. I hope he finds his feet straight away in the Premiership, because really that would be fantastic asset. And it was 70 million euro, I think. And Haaland was bought from Borussia Dortmund by Man City. He's only another young player, 22 years of age. There's speculation, it's always speculation about different players, that Liverpool has an interest in Lewandowski. Lewandowski, as you know, is with Bayern Munich. I don't know, will he leave Bayern Munich? But I suppose the financial benefits for players like that, you know, are fantastic. And Lewandowski is still top of his game. He's still a fantastic player, a fabulous player, and any club would be glad to have him, I dare say, including Liverpool, you know. And you're listening to SportsView on our Learn Media channel, our YouTube channel. We have a YouTube channel for SportsView, but it hasn't kicked in yet for live streaming. So when that will happen, we will let you know that. But as I said, we're delighted to be able to broadcast live here this evening on this Thursday evening, the 16th of June 2022. And the time now is 20:51 if you're clock watching, which is 8:50 p.m. Irish time. And whatever time is where you are, we're delighted to have you along, and tell all your friends about us. And as I said, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. You press the red button on the right hand side. And we invite comments. In fact, we expect comments to come in during the show, and we invite them as well. And as I said, there was a bit of a kerfuffle there this evening now, or not this evening, but apparently it is reported in the media when there was when Kevin Na was when Kevin Na was practicing his round. He went to practice his round. As Kevin, when he went to practice his round before he began in the Open, in the US Open at Brookline, he saluted apparently Jordan Spieth. It's been reported in the media. I don't know. I wasn't there, and he was blanked by Mr. Spieth. I suppose because of the kerfuffle that arose between Live Golf and the rest of the golfing world. And Kevin, as you know, just to clarify things, in Kevin Na's case, he played in the Live Golf tournament last weekend. Many of them members of the PGA were suspended for doing that. And you might ask, well, how are they playing in the US Open as members? They're not members of the PGA, but the four majors, three of them in America and one in Britain. That's the US. That's the Open Championship in Britain, and then you have the US Open, the PGA Championship, and the Masters in America. They are the four majors, and they are run separately from the PGA Tour. Their invitational tournaments. Of course, you must qualify as well for them in certain respects, but that's why you have people like Kevin and Phil Mickelson and all of that competing in the US Open. But there was a little bit of tension, I suppose, between Kevin and Mr. Spieth. But look, what can you say? Jordan Spieth himself, when Jordan Spieth came on the scene, the golf scene in America, himself and McIlroy, and I forget the other chap now from Texas. I'll think of him in a minute. I don't think he's playing the US Open. 3 or 4 of them there around the same age came along, and they brought some fantastic excitement to the game of golf. That's Spieth, McIlroy, and God, I can't think of his name. He's from Texas. I think we'll later on, and I'm sure you're all screaming at me, this is his name, that's his name. But I think we'll later on, And but when they came on, they came on the scene, as I said, more or less together. Spieth, was lost form for a while, I think the last time I looked on the score, I think he was +1 or something like that. That's Jordan Spieth in the Open. But we'll check out the scores later on during the show. And don't forget to press the red button on the right-hand side to subscribe to our channel. You're more than welcome to do so. As I said, we're beginning the program with, with all things golf. That's what we're doing with the program. All things golf on the show, since the US Open is going along at the moment, parallel while we're in the studio. So it's been running over there in Massachusetts, Brookline, and we hope to have Derwin Honan later on. Derwin is a golfing expert. I suppose we call him a golfing expert for that. Derwin has a company with a few lads, and they're over there in Florida at the moment. And Derwin is a regular panelist on our sports program of Dragonfly Golf. Check it out, Dragonfly Golf. Check it out. That's the company, and they're doing very well. And we wish them all the best. Obviously, they're over at the right time now in the United States to take advantage of the fantastic wall-to-wall coverage on all the platforms over there. And I think there was a bit of a live feed on YouTube from the US Open. But anyway, I was watching a bit of it today. The weather looks magnificent over there. You'll be envious of the weather, and and for the players as well. It's very important that. I suppose I don't know really. Let's face it, most of the golfers today, professional golfers, are used to traveling all over the world, and they're very, very used to all kinds of weather. Well, particularly if you're from Ireland now, if you're an Irish golfer from Ireland, you could have the 4 seasons in one day here in this country. I can tell you that there's no doubt. You can have lashing rain and wind, you can have bright sunshine, wind by itself, and all of that. And we have quite a lot of links courses in Ireland as well that Shane Lowry and Seamus Powell will be well used to. I'm not saying that Brookline is a links course. I'm just making the point that they're well used to adversity during their rounds of golf, and hopefully it will hold them in good stead as they progress through this weekend. We wish them all very well, obviously, but we hope. Now, a golfer who caught my eye during the week, and I hadn't seen him for a while, but I got interested. Actually, I was watching the Live Golf, which was streamed on the YouTube channel, which I think had something like a 500,000 viewers or 600,000 at one stage. But anyway, anyway, uh, and also side by side with that, the RBC Canadian Open was on, and I think McIlroy was the holder of it, as far as I know. McIlroy won that, but Justin Thomas competed in that, and he was just fantastic. I thought he was just fantastic. The golf he played, he didn't prepare, but I tell you, he was well up there, and he has good form. As I say, he has form, and it's important that you have form. When you, as a golfer, people should know that when you're competing in an individual sport, confidence is everything. Your state of mind is everything, because you've nobody to beat up, only yourself. And of course, your state of mind is dependent on your form, or vice versa. So Justin Thomas has form for coming into this, and I think that I don't know where he was our last time. Just looking down the thing here, but he started. We'll pick up his score later on in the program. But anyway, Justin Thomas, as I said, brought in fantastic form into the Canadian Open, and he is someone I think could be very well in the shake-up when it comes to Sunday. But then that's him, and he finished very well. Our own chap, Shane Lowry, really. Shane has been very consistent. That's what I would say about Shane. He's very consistent. He had good form. Sometimes he might throw in one bad round out of four, but I don't know what that is down to. I don't know what it is though. Maybe Shane will tell you himself when you talk to him. We might get to talk to him sometime on the show, but certainly not when he's playing in the US Open anyway. But Shane Lowry is good form. He's finished. He's been in the top half of most of the fields he's competed in, and really and truly, I think he has the talent. There's no doubt about it. There's no doubt he has the talent. He has the talent to make an impression in the golf, and he's my goodness me. I'm just looking here. Shane Lowry is that's the Canadian Open, the USPGA Tour, the DP World Tour. We just go to that in a minute. Anyway, that's just Shane Lowry. He's I think he competed well in the US Open, or in the Canadian Open as well. He had a decent finish there, and so I think that that he will, if he's in the shake-up for the weekend, he could be a dark horse as well. Not because he's from Ireland or anything, but obviously the score to beat at the moment is still -3 in the clubhouse, set by McIlroy and company. There's a 4 in the clubhouse of -3. Seamus Power now has moved up to -2 after 8 holes, so he's doing very well indeed. And Seamus is a late bloomer, as they say in golf, and the aforementioned Shane Lowry, who you can see there on your screen, Shane Lowry is at even par after 7, so he's nice and steady with his round. Dustin Johnson, he's at even par after his round as well, And just switching over for a minute to the ladies, because we have an Irish interest in the Mcenroe LPGA Classic in it's in Blithfield Country Club. There you go. And at the moment, Anna Norquist, who's a very, very I say about her, she's a fantastic player. She's -7. She shot behind Pillar of America -8. Lexi Thompson is up there after shooting a 65, and now her round is over. Lexi Thompson, and as I said, Stacey Luce has finished at -5. I'm just picking out a few of the people I know myself. Johansson has a -4 after 68. Jessica Corda, who's -4, finished at -4 after 68, So Minjee Lee, who's always seems to be up there somewhere. That's Minjee Lee. Minjee Lee has -4 after shooting a round of 68. And there's a few more there. I'm just scrolling down the page to see how a little Irish girl is doing, Leona. And I think Leona is after 11 holes, she's even par. So she'd want to be really, in the last 7 holes, she wanted to be playing it at -4 or -3 to stay in touch, because -8 is leading at the moment, and really you don't want to be going in 8 shots off the pace after round 1 in any competition. And I dare say, with the way it is, you wouldn't want to be 8 shots behind after 1 round of that. Anyway, getting back to the US Open, the US Open, there's no considerable change at the top. If you know the early starters, -3 is still the target number in the clubhouse. And as I say, Seamus Power, who you can see there now, this good old Seamus. Seamus Power is -2 after 8 holes, so he's doing pretty well. And John Ram finished with a -1 with a 69, so 70 is par, so he's 660, 69, decent score for Maracama. They're all steady scores, and Adam Scott, they're all at -1. And Victor Hovland, who's been young golfer, who's shown some mighty fine form, he's at -1 after halfway through his round at on the 9th hole. So that's Victor Hovland. Justin Thomas, who we mentioned there a while ago, the wonderful Justin Thomas, he's gone to -1 halfway through his round, so he's only 2 shots off the clubhouse lead. That's Justin Thomas. I don't know how much this will change now during the evening. I have no idea, but there you go. Scotty Schauffele finished. Alexander Schauffele finished at even par around 70. He's just finished, so he's inside the top 30. And also just Finu is Tony Finu is level par after that. I'm just picking out people. I'm just keeping an eye on myself. I said Shane Lowry is still level after 7 holes, and Matthews he's +1. He's finished his own. Neiman, who's good form, up and down a bit, but he's finished at 71 for 71. He's +1. Bruce Koepka, who's very exciting. I love watching Bruce Koepka. He's what's the word? He's +1 after 7, as well as DeChambeau, Bryson DeChambeau, another character who's he's +1. I know I'm laughing, after 7 holes, and Patrick Reed +1 after 6, and Tommy Fleetwood from Britain, just across the water there. He's +1 after 6, so he's steady enough. You know, Jordan Spieth finished his round, who we were talking about a while ago there. That's Jordan Spieth. He finished his round with +2, with 72, and really, well, that's 5 now behind the clubhouse lead, and really that's a sizable gap, you know, really. But anyway, look, we wish him well. Kevin Na, he's on the 10th hole, he's +2, and hopefully he'll want to get his finger out, as I say, and maybe shoot, probably one. I'd like to see most people shooting level or -1, you know. Francesco Molinari, will it be Molinari brothers, +3, he finished with 73. And he's from Italy. Sergio Garcia, major winner, of course, in his own right. Sergio, +3 after 10. So Louis Oosthuizen, who we spoke about earlier on, you know, Louis Oosthuizen, fine golfer. I like Louis Oosthuizen, you know, he's a good golfer. He he's +3 after 7 as well. That's Louis Oosthuizen, and I'm just looking on the field there to see where are the rest of them. And Phil Mickelson, yes. Phil Mickelson is +5 after 7. So Phil is struggling pretty badly now, Phil Mickelson. I think he's only on the 7th hole. He has 11 more to go. So I would say if you could bring it back to level up +1, he'll be doing very well, you know. Hope he does. Like to see him around for the weekend, because he is fantastic character. Now, there's a load of golfers here who at +6 and +7. I don't think we'll be seeing young Olsen there from Denmark. He's +6, so really, I don't think Brandon Grace from South Africa. I'm surprised Brandon Grace is at +6 as well. And he's someone I sort of half fancy, but anyway, he's +6. He's 9 shots off the lead now, and that's really, I think the gig is up for him, for people like that who are, I think anybody who's, my own opinion, this is now, anybody who's +2 or more will be Till Hatton, a decent golfer. He's a +3 after 10 holes till Hatton, so really, I don't know how he's going to get on for the weekend. He'll have to. Well, Till Hatton, where is he? He's I think he's what's the word I'm looking for? He's on the 10th hole, so he's plenty time. He's +3. Could maybe bring it back to +1 or level. He'll be all right. To be around for the weekend. They all want to be around for the weekend, but obviously, there's a cut-off point as well, and the way it works is you must be within 10 shots of the lead. That's the first requirement. The second requirement, there's 68 or 70 golfers going forward for the last 2 rounds, so you must be that as well. So there's two requirements. So I know Peters, who I suppose flattered to deceive in many cases. He's from Belgium. Peters, decent golfer. He's +2 after 9 holes. So I don't know how he'll get on. Hopefully he +2. He's 9 more holes to bring it back to level, in my opinion, or maybe -1, which would be very, very good, very decent. Bland from the UK, he's +1 after 6. So I can DeChambeau is still +1, and Bruce Koepka is still +1 after 6, 8, and 9. So Young Im is a +1 from Korea after 10. Decent golfer. Neiman +1, he's finished, as we said. And Shane Lowry is still even par now after 7. So he's going along steady as she goes, as they say. Schauffele is even par finished. So there you go. Dustin Johnson is gone to -1 now to after 8 holes. So he has the talent and the golf, as they say, to win it. That's Dustin Johnson. So I mean, really, hopefully, Victor Hovland is -1 as well after 9. So he's doing very well, And Seamus Power is still at -2 as we speak after 8 holes. So he's going along nice and well. All he needs, is steady golf for the rest of the round. Steady as you go, Seamus. You're listening to SportsView here on our YouTube channel, the Learn Media YouTube channel. We're streaming out live tonight, and you press the red button on the right hand side to subscribe to our channel and tell all your friends about us. That's the red button on the right hand side as you're looking at it. And my name is Pat Barry, as you can see up there in lights. You can have your name up there in lights as well. Now, obviously, we invite comments, and I suppose subscribing to our channel. Thank you, Mary, for your comment. And as I said, please, if you want to join us, just send us your email, and you can chat away with us here about all things, or any sports that will be coming up during the weekend here or anywhere around the country. Now, just staying, going away from the golf for a few minutes, just looking at something here locally, domestic. Over the weekend coming, we will have our own Senior Hurling Championship quarterfinals will be coming up over the weekend, and that will be Galway against Cork in one of the quarterfinals, and in the other quarterfinal we have Clare playing Wexford in the Senior Hurling Championship. We already have Limerick, the All-Ireland and Munster title holders again. They are already into the semi-final as a result of winning their provincial championship, which was Munster. And Kilkenny, equally on the other side of the draw, won their championship, the Leinster Championship, and they are into the semi-final. So they're waiting, the winners of the 2 games over the weekend, to see who they'll meet in the semi-final. Obviously, if Cork beat Galway, Cork will play Limerick in that semi-final, and if Clare beat Wexford, they will meet Kilkenny in the other semi-final. Now, obviously, if Wexford beat Clare, they cannot meet Kilkenny because they met them in the already, so they'll be playing Limerick. And if Cork still prevails, they'll be playing Kilkenny. And if you're totally confused by then, if Galway beat Cork, Galway will be playing Limerick, because Galway already competed against Kilkenny in Leinster in the championship. I think that's the way it goes. I'm not 100% certain of all the permutations. I think we've said too many already. Now, there was controversy over the weekend, over the last few days, because there was 2 Clare players and 1 Galway player. They weren't red carded during the game, but there's always a review of games by the Central Controls Competitions Committee. I know it's more for the CCC, easy thing, and they said that the fouls committed by the 2 Clare players and by the Limerick player warranted a red card on the day, but they weren't given any card on the red card on the day. So therefore, and that would mean a 1-match ban for each of those 3 players, 1 from Galway and 2 from Clare. And we were wondering, would they appeal it? They're entitled to appeal it, obviously, but they did appeal it, but not on the issuing of the red cards, which is unfortunate. They appealed it on a technicality. I suppose, if you're totally familiar, as one should be, with all the rules and regulations in order to get proper justice in anything, it's the same in any I suppose organisation. And in any case, what's the word I'm looking for? They appealed it, and they got off in a technicality. Now the technicality was, apparently, I didn't read the full thing, that the meeting that was convened was some of it was done by Zoom, some of the members obviously, because the appeal was within 24 to 48 hours of the decision. So anyway, there is nothing in the rule which states that it's a proper convened committee if it's not in person. There's nothing. So on that technicality, the 3 cards, the 3 1-match suspensions were rescinded and set aside. So therefore, all the players, the 3 players that were cited for foul play in those 2 games, they can compete the weekend. Now, obviously, there's different opinions on that. I'm not going to give mine, because really there's been enough said about it, in my opinion. I think, I suppose on the face of it, I think someone getting off on a technicality is not fair, really. But it is something that has to be visited and looked at by the authorities, in my opinion. And so therefore, we wish all the 4 teams left in it. It'll be a cracking weekend. There's some fantastic games. I said Cork and Galway, and it's a sellout in Thurles. It's a double header in Thurles, County Tipperary, Simple Stadium, and Cork and Galway and Clare and Wexford, a double header. I think both matches are on TV as well, so it's something to look forward to, because it is sold out. And I think there's obviously, if both matches were held in Croke Park, there'd be 85,000 able to attend a full house in Croke Park. But since it's on in Tipperary, it's only something like 50,000. So really, with 4 counties, I think it was, anyway, look, I have my own opinion on these things. You could easily have 1 semi-final in Thurles and 1 semi-final in Dublin, in Croke Park, really and truly. And I don't know, they could have organised many double headers, because there's minor matches as well that Clare are involved in. They could have double headers of that. I don't know, really. But it's €40 for the stand ticket, which is fantastic value for 4 senior teams competing at the highest level. It's no doubt about it, it's value for money. But travelling, of course, like everything else in life, the cost of living, travelling to these now is problematic because of the the expense that's involved in travelling to those matches. Obviously there are other sports going on as well, like Royal Ascot, and there's postmortems going on from the soccer, the Nations League during the week, particularly when it comes to England, who got hammered in Molyneux by Hungary, 4-0. Yes, in case you missed it, 4-0. England playing at home, well, in Molyneux, in Wolverhampton Wanderers ground. And really, I think the team is in serious trouble. I'm not surprised that the team is in serious trouble. I might say that. I'm not saying that any disparaging on the players that they picked, but really and truly for professional soccer players to cite a long season and all of that, really, come on lads, it's the same in every country. Their leagues are running at the same time, so all the players in every country are feeling the pinch because of the long season as well, and cup competitions and all of that. You should be able to cope with it, for God's sake. You know, these are professional athletes who are well paid for things. But as I said, it doesn't all go well. I mean, the World Cup is only around the corner. The World Cup of soccer in Qatar is only around the corner. I know you heard me saying it correctly, Qatar, which didn't have a soccer stadium, but it got the World Cup. They had to build it from scratch. They didn't have a soccer team even, so money talks, as I say, still speaks in both. But it has the potential to be a fantastic tournament. There's 32 teams in it now. I remember when it's only 16-team competition. 32 teams. I think it's too big at 32 teams. Really, I think the tournament is too long. That's my opinion. I think people lose interest in it. There'll be an awful lot. You see, the problem with having 32 teams, you'll have an awful lot of meaningless games in it. Games that won't be attractive to watch, won't be attractive for the punters to go there, and well, we'll see anyway how it pans out. But getting back to the English soccer team, I think they are in trouble. I think the manager, really has failed. I think the first big failure for the manager was in the Euro competition that was played more or less a load of home games in Wembley for England. They got into the final, but really and truly, they were beaten. Look, honestly now, they were beaten in the penalty shootout. Let's acknowledge that. So a penalty shootout is a lottery. But when you look at the players that they had at their disposal, England, and you look at the players that they allowed take penalties in the final of that competition, you have to call into question the judgment of the manager. No doubt about that, you know. Young lads who were winning their first, second, or third caps to take penalties at a European Championship final. It beggars belief in it to me. I don't know what went on there. I have no idea. We're not, and it's unfair to personalize this for the players because I mean, really, you're a young player, and I suppose it's an honour to wear the jersey of your country anytime, you know, and to take a penalty in a pressurized competition like that, you know. And there you go. And I don't know. I mean, they're not. I mean, this is June. They're not going to change the manager of the English team in June and the World Cup in December. But I think really the English FA has to have a serious look at the setup of the English team because they have some fantastic world-class players. And the manager doesn't seem to be able to either pick all the right players at the same time on the team, if you follow my drift, or gel them together in a unified, solid team. I don't know, but really, there's something amiss, and I don't know. I just can't put my finger on. There's something seriously amiss in the camp, backroom staff, the players. I don't know. There is a Gareth Southgate. I have no doubt as a human being, he's probably a decent human being, but as a manager, he's a way out of his depth, in my opinion. You know, that's it. But he's there now for the World Cup, and hopefully they'll be able to turn around from the disaster that was that 4-0 drubbing by Hungary in Molyneux. Now, what I was going to say is we've invited a few people to participate in the show, and hopefully a couple will be coming in very soon. But at the moment, you're looking at and listening to SportsView with myself, Pat Barry, here on our live stream. And we are covering initially in the program all things golf. But if you want to participate, please join in. Please send us your email, and we will send you a link for you to come in to our show live in studio and chat about whatever sport you like. You know, it doesn't have to be golf, you know. But the reason we're concentrating on golf, there's another one of the majors on at the moment as we speak, and the first round is on. it's well progressed now at the moment. That's the first round of the US Open. And obviously, we're keeping an eye on that for all the movers and shakers. We're keeping an eye on that from a few players that I fancy myself personally. It's a personal thing. I fancy, obviously, Justin Thomas because and you have to give McIlroy because he won the RBC Canadian Open last week, Rory Mcilroy. So he would have a chance as well, a good chance. He's good form coming into it. Shane Lowry would have good form coming into this as well. He had a lot of top 10, top 15 finishes, and he's always knocking the door up and around there. I think it's time that he might translate that knocking of the door into winning. That's what I'm trying to say, winning. And we look forward. I think Shane Lowry is committed to playing the Irish Open, so we'll be looking forward to that here in this country. And as I said, you're tuned in to SportsView on our YouTube channel, and the SportsView YouTube channel will be up and running in another week or so, and that's the channel where you get all the sports on it. And really, we're keeping an eye on the US Open. That's the US Open golf in Brookline, Massachusetts, and the creme de la creme, like Shane Lowry, as I said, and as I said, Adam Scott, who's around a long time now as well. That's Adam Scott there, in case you mightn't have recognized him. But the target at the moment in the clubhouse is -3. That's the target. That's the lead at the moment, is -3. Nobody seems to have overcome that yet, that -3. Now, I just fancy Adam Scott. He's one of that's why you look at his picture there. Obviously, Seamus Power, our own Seamus Power from Waterford. Seamus Power is doing very well. He's at -2 after 9 holes. He's halfway through his round there at -2. McIlroy finished at -3, so he's one of the clubhouse leaders there. You know, that's Rory Mcilroy. And as I said, I'm just looking now, and Shane Lowry is gone now to -1 after 8, as has Dustin Rose as well, -1. Adam Scott is at -1 after he finished at -1. He shot a 69. Adam Scott, that is. Seamus Power said is -1, -2 after 9 holes. Shane Lowry is -1 after 8 holes, so he's doing extremely well. And then you have Matthew Leishman, Bradley Sheck, Harvey Bennett, Vic Shot. They all finish on even par. Victor Hovland is on even par after 11 holes. You know, that's Victor Hovland. And what else? I'm going to see there. That's what we're just talking about. As I said, the target is being set by this man here, Rory Mcilroy. And well, I suppose now Rory talks a good talk, but he's walking a good walk last week and this week as well. So there you go. He's entitled to talk good talk when he got form like that at any time. He's entitled to speak anytime anyway. No one should be denied an opinion, or no matter what it was. And I may not necessarily agree with all his opinions, but he's entitled to have them anyway. And I'm just looking down at some more of the Bruce Koepka. It's a +1 after 10. And Bryson DeChambeau is +1 after 8 holes. So he's doing reasonably well, you know. As I said, -3 is the target at the moment in the clubhouse. And that man there on the screen, Rory Mcilroy, is one of the golfers on -3 leading the US Open. And hopefully Molinari +3. He had a pretty tough and challenging round. And I suppose, you know, you have people like veteran Sergio Garcia, who was on +4 after 11. And Phil Mickelson, the exciting Phil Mickelson, he's on +5 after 8 holes. So Phil, you want 8 holes, you have 10 more holes on Phil to salvage your round. And I think to be a testament to the man if he came in at either even par or +1. That would be good enough to see him around over the weekend. I don't know about that, you know. And I suppose and another golfer I happen to like myself. Well, I mean, he was Kevin. I don't know. I mean, I think he's character. He's good character, Kevin, and I like him. And he doesn't take himself too seriously. And obviously, he has been in trouble a few times for slow play. But what golfer hasn't been in trouble for slow play, I don't know. He's at +2 at the moment. There's Kevin on your screen there. He's at +2 at the moment after 11 holes. So hovering there in a challenging position for tomorrow, he'd want to maybe bring it down to level par. That's my opinion. I know some of these can go out and shoot lights out in a round, so you don't know that. We don't know that how he get on there, But anyway, it's nice to see the two green, white, and gold fellas, Shane Lowry at -1 after 8 holes, and Seamus Power -2 after 9, going very well. Target in clubhouse is -3, 67 shot by Taryn of Britain, Lingmerth of Sweden, McIlroy of Northern Ireland, Damon of America. Now I see Matt Fitzpatrick, who's brought in some fantastic form from the Canadian Open. That's Matt Fitzpatrick, the RBS Canadian Open. I see he's gone into -3 after 9 holes. So Matt is doing very well. No surprise. He's a very steady, fantastic golfer. So he's doing very well there, Matt Fitzpatrick. But as I said, the man to catch at the moment is Rory Mcilroy at -3 in clubhouse. So there's a good few. Hadwin from Canada, Power from Ireland, Simpson from America, and Duffy from South Africa are all in 2 under, and so therefore they're all doing very well, And John Ram finished a -1, Adam Scott finished a -1. Justin Thomas, now I can see Justin Thomas, who we spoke about earlier on in the show. Justin Thomas has gone to -1, excuse me, after 11 holes, yeah. And Power -1 after 10, Lowry -1 after. So Seamus has dropped the shot. He's gone to -1 after 10. And we'll keep you abreast of the scores there. And the ladies are playing as well at the moment. And -8 is the clubhouse with Pillar from the United States, followed by Lexi, the one for Lexi Thompson, the very, I suppose, organised, a very talented Lexi Thompson. She's a -7, she shot at 65. And then you have a pair of Swedes, Nopsquitz and Sangstrom at -7, so they're doing well. And obviously, Minji Lee is -4, and Jessica Carter is -4. So really, all the usual names you see up at the top of the leaderboard are hovering more or less around it. Now, Leona Maguire has made a valiant effort to come up a bit up the field. She's -1 now after 13 holes, so she needs to pick up another 2 or 3 shots to give herself a meaningful chance to make a dent on this. Also, over in Britain, over in England, at the moment, they're looking forward to Wimbledon coming up very soon. And as a precursor to Wimbledon, they have 2 grass court tournaments on at the moment in Britain. They have a grass court tournament in Nottingham run by the WTA, and they have Queen's Club where all the top players, or many of the top players, who would be fancied to make an effort at winning. What let's say the word I'm looking for. At winning a major, and at the moment over in the Queen's Club, we had Stan Wawrinka was beaten today by the chap from America, Paul, who's a good form the last couple of weeks, and 6-1, 6-4 he beat Stan. These are the best of 3 sets in these tournaments, and Berrettini won again today in 3 sets. He lost the first set 6-3. That's Matteo. Haven't they wonderful names in Italy? Matteo Berrettini. Matteo. I like saying that name. He lost the first set 6-3, but he won the second set 7-6, and he won the third 6-4. He beat Kudla of the United States, who was a decent player himself. This is around the last 16. And young Peniston from Britain had a good win against Argentine Canodola. He beat him in 3 sets. He won the first set 6-love. He lost the second set 6-4, and he won the third set 6-4. So it was a topsy-turvy game. I saw some of it. It was just up and down. You couldn't pick a winner. But anyway, he won it. That's young Peniston from Britain. He won that last 16 game. And Sam Querrey from America was beaten by Krančević and in 3 sets as well. And Kranjčević lost the first set 4-6, but won the second and third 6-3, 6-4. And that was in, where's that? That was in the Queen's Club. And then, of course, we have, the WTA Birmingham, the Birmingham Classic, owned by the WTA. And she's 31 now, I think, Georgie. But she has good form the last couple of months. And I think she plays well on grass. And she had a win today in three sets. She lost the first set against Davis of the United States. This is the ladies, 3-6. But she won the second and third set, 7-5, 6-2. Good win for Georgia, and that's in the last 16 as well. And a lady who I have good time for, I think she's a cracking player, but she's a topsy-turvy. She cannot, I think, I'm not an expert in tennis, she just cannot seem to find a consistency in her game. She has all the shots, all the talent. That's Yelena Ostapenko, who won the French Open a couple of years back, very young age of 17 or 18. And she's played a lot of doubles as well, I know, but she was beaten today in 3 sets in the last 16 by Jastrzębska. She won the first set, that's Ostapenko 6-3, but she lost the second and third set 7-5, 7-5. So she's out. And Zhang from China beat Rus of Germany in the last 16 as well. And then in the women's doubles quarterfinal, the British ladies, Harriet Dart and Gray, Harriet Dart has some fantastic form in the last couple of weeks, but they were beaten in the quarterfinal by Mirza. Mirza, who's around a veteran now of doubles, Mirza from India, fantastic player. They beat him in 2 straight sets, 6-3, 6-2 in the quarterfinal. And in the other quarterfinal, Ostapenko, the aforementioned, she won her doubles match with Kitchenok, who she played quite a bit of doubles with. So they won that quarterfinal, the semi-final, by 2 sets to 1. They won the first set 6-1, they lost the second set 6-4, and they won the tiebreak 12-10 in third set, so they're through to the semi-final. And also we have the German Open that's going on as well, the WTA German Open. And I'm just going down, there's a lot of doubles over there, but in the singles, they're into their last 16 as well. And the Tunisian Jabour from Tunisia, who's been in great form, and she's won quite a few tournaments. Jabour, that is, she beat Parks 6-2, 7-6 in the last 16. And Benchik of Switzerland won her round of 16 match as well in 3 sets. And young Goff from the United States, she was beaten recently in the French Open, Roland Garros, and she was really trashed in the final by Swiatek. But she's bounced back. She's won her last 16 match in the German Open, WTA, 6-love, 6-4. So that's a good boost for her coming up to Wimbledon. And she'll probably progress. Kudermetova, who won her round of 16 against Samsonova 6-3. She lost the second middle set 7-6, but she won the final one 6-1. So she's through. And there's the Helio Open, which is a very big popular tournament as well. And Kachanov, I see, has done the business in the round of 16. He beat Jajier 7-6, 6-4. And Ate from Germany won his match against Basilashvili, who's an exciting player, could upset a lot of players in the upcoming Wimbledon tournament. Maybe, I don't know. And also in the doubles, then you had, really, there's too many to call out in the doubles. You can look up all those online for yourself. But we're looking forward to Wimbledon. All the tennis fans are looking forward to Wimbledon. There's a question mark over Andy Murray, whether he'll compete or not. There's also a question mark over Rafael Nadal, who I don't know. I don't think he'll compete, that's my opinion. And of course, Federer is not there either in the men's side. So it looks Berrettini could be in the shake-up. Of course, Novak Djokovic has found a bit of fun. He could be in the shake-up as well. Djokovic certainly will be in the shake-up, as will Berrettini. And there's a few more having around as well. A few of the British players could be in the shake-up, Draper's showing good form, you know. Dan Evans is showing good form. So really, you don't know. In the ladies' side of the draw in Wimbledon, it's been announced there yesterday before that Serena Williams has been given a wild card to enter the tournament. And I don't know how she'll do. I don't rate her at all. She hasn't played in the last 12 months, so I don't think she'd turn up just to turn up. So I think she has some decent level of fitness to enter a Grand Slam like Wimbledon. So she's not just coming over knowing her competitive streak. She hasn't won 23 Grand Slams just for the fun of it. She's won it by sheer fitness, determination, and talent. And I'm sure she'll bring that to bear in Wimbledon as well. I don't know that, but I hope she will, because we all like to see the excitement and the fantastic serve. She never lost that. That's my chores getting a bit dry. Anyway, that's Wimbledon, the ladies' side. Ladies' side is wide open. You have Simona Halep, the usual stuff. Swiatek, of course, would have to be one of the favourites for it, and to win it, to win the whole thing. Jabeur from Tunisia would have an outside chance. Halep, if she brings any bit of form, could have a good run. Kohagov could have a good run in this, and you know, there's a few more hovering around as well. I don't know about the British players. Harriet Dart, if she gets a good run, has the talent. Raducanu has the talent. She already won the US Open last year, Miss Raducanu, so I don't know how she's fixed. I think a lot of her troubles is in her head, not in her form, you know, but that's something she has to sort out herself, you know. SportsView is the program here on the Lyre Media with myself, Pat Barry, and hopefully we'll be joined by a few more later on in the program to join us here. At the top of the program, we were talking, as we speak, a lot of the golf is going on, the US Open is going on as we speak at the moment, and still the target in the clubhouse is being set by Rory Mcilroy. The target in the clubhouse has been set by Rory Mcilroy at -3, you know. Well, yeah. Anyway, my controller programs is speaking in my ear there just a second before. Didn't distract me, but give me some information. The US Open live stream. We might go to it later on before we finish the program. But anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, Rory McIlroy still has the clubhouse target set at -3. Now, obviously, they finished very early on 67. Matt Fitzpatrick is up there from Britain at -3 as well after 10 holes, and Hadwin from Canada is at -3 after 8 holes. So really, now there's 4 players finished at -2. Buckley, Naismith, Harmon, Wise, all from the United States, all finished with 68. So they're all in clubhouse safely at -2. Duff from South Africa is on -2 as well after 13 holes. Simpson is on -2 from the United States after 10 holes. And Justin Rose has moved up to -2 after 9 holes. Justin Rose is a very solid golfer, very solid, always plays some fantastic golf, you know. Should have more than one major in my opinion, but anyway, Justin, come on, you can do it maybe, I don't know. And then there's a whole heap of players in the clubhouse at -1. Rogers, Murakami, Ram, Homa, Adam Scott, Zalatoris, Hosler. They're all in the clubhouse at home on 69s -1. On -1 as well out in the course, you've Justin Thomas at -1 and Justin Johnson at -1 after 10. Thomas is -1 after 11. Justin Johnson -1 after 10 holes. And very talented golfer as well, Justin, what's his name? Justin Johnson. And Min Wing Lee from Australia, he's -1 after 10. Shane Lowry is up to -1 after 9. And Jacqueline from Scotland has now got up to -1 after 6 holes. So they're there's no one gone up yet to shake the leaders. Seamus Power dropped down from being -2, has dropped back to the even par after 11. We're still doing well, Seamus, doing very well. You know, he was -2. That's Seamus Power there for you to view. he's gone to even par after 11. And Connors from Canada, I was watching him playing in the Canadian Open. He's a solid, very solid golfer, very good, very talented, you know, and a bit of a character as well. Good to see him in these rounds. He's level par after 10. And Kim from Korea is level par after 10 as well. And Patrick Reed is level after 8. And Bland from England is even par after 7. So they're all solid, you know, all doing very well. Bruce Koepka and the Chambord still +1 after 9 and 10 holes respectively. Yeah, I suppose they're doing well, doing solid enough. Jordan Spieth has finished it on 72. Jordan Spieth is finished after finishing up with 72, which is +2, 5 shots off the lead. Challenging but not insurmountable, because we don't know what tomorrow will bring, as they say. And Hughes from Canada's on 2, Silverman from Canada's on +2 as well. Tringale +2 of 13. Kevin Na, who played last week in that new tournament with Live Golf, that's Kevin Na. He's +2 after 12. So he has to maybe, I suppose, do a little bit of Jim Furyk. I see now, the veteran Jim Furyk, always there. A very solid golfer still, +2 after 8 holes. And really, I suppose, Perez from France has finished with 73. So he's a tough day ahead of him tomorrow. You know, Francesco Molinari likewise +3 as well after a 73 as well. Louis Oosthuizen, who played last week in the new tournament with Live Golf over there in Britain in the Centurion Club, he's a +3 after 9. So he has a bit of ground to make up as well, but he has 9 more holes to do that in, I suppose, you know. And I'm just looking down. Sergio Garcia is a +4 after 12. So Sergio, you want to get back a few shots there, otherwise tomorrow will be very, very challenging for you. And Phil Mickelson, of course, the talented Phil Mickelson. Phil is struggling a little bit. He's on +5 in the turn after 9 holes. So Phil, you'll have to get back a few shots there as well to make a meaningful, I suppose, contribution before the weekend. That's Phil Mickelson. And Young Olsen from Denmark, who I'd hoped for. He +6 after 14. Really, I think that I'm not going to name out any more of them, because really they're struggling. The rest of them are struggling. The rest of the field is struggling now to put a meaningful round together so that they'll be around for the weekend. Because the target in the clubhouse is -3, and Lowry, I'm concentrating on Lowry because he's one of our own here. He's -1 after 9, so he's decent enough, you know. And as I said, Seamus Power is evens after 11, so he's solid enough. On an even par +1, I think I would describe, this is my opinion, as solid rounds of golf under the circumstances. And as I said, Shane Lowry at the moment is -1, I think. Yeah, -1 is Shane Lowry, so he's doing reasonably well and going along solidly, as one would expect, Shane. And anyway, look, lads, keep it up, keep it up, keep it going. We just have a dip in there we see the ladies. Yes, Pillar is -8 in the Mcenroe LPGA Classic, which is going on as we speak as well. And they're in clubhouse at -8, and a plethora of -7s in the course in the clubhouse. Johansson's -5, and Stacey Lewis is -5. She's in the clubhouse. Jessica Cord is in the clubhouse. at -4. That's in the ladies tournament. And Young Choi is -4. Minji Lee, very, very talented golfer, Minji Lee. And she's just gone off my screen at the moment, but I think she's -4 as well, you know. And she dropped a shot. I don't know. Nelly Corder. Nelly Corder is -3 after 14. So Nelly's going along well. She's back from, she was off for a while. Lydia Ko is doing very well. She's finished. I like Lydia Ko. She's a very solid golfer as well. She's -2 after around the 70. And, you know, I'm just going down to find out where our own Leona Maguire is -1 after 14. So Leona, you want to pick up another shot or two, and then you won't have such a challenging weekend of it, or a challenging round of it. So there you go. And let's see now, where are we? We're back to we'll just go back now to the majors as well. You're listening to SportsView here on our YouTube channel, and you can, we're talking all things golf and other sports as well. We're concentrating tonight on the US Open, because it's on live as we're on air as well for most of it, and so therefore the US Open is our focus. This the major that's going on in golf at the moment in Brookline, Massachusetts, where the creme de la creme of the golfing world are assembled for this weekend. Today is the first round of the US Open, and Rory Mcilroy is setting the target amongst 3 or 4 more. He's setting the target in the clubhouse at the moment, -3. And let's see, we'll just pick up the scores now as well. Feel free to obviously press the red button on the right hand side to subscribe to our channel, and feel free to join us as well if you're inclined to do that. And -3 is still the target in the clubhouse, as we said. And we're looking at Shane Lowry on picture there. He's on -1 at the moment. Justin Rose has gone up to -2 after nine holes, so Justin is doing very well. Matt Fitzpatrick from Britain has gone up to -3 after 10 holes, and he's in good form because he was in great form in the Canadian Open last week. So he's brought that form into the US Open, as has Hadwin from Canada. I was watching him in the Rbc Canadian Open last week, and Hadwin is joined up is on -3 after 8 holes. You know, Scott Simpson's up to -2 after 10. Justin Rose is up to -2 after 10. And Dafu from South Africa is up to -2 after 14. So they're challenging the lead, the clubhouse lead of -3, which is target set by Rory Mcilroy and a few more. Lowry is in -1. Justin Thomas is -1 after 12. Lowry is -1 after 10. Justin Johnson now at -1 after 10 as well. So they're up, shaking up. Finau is up even par after 12. Tony Finau. Victor Hovland is up to even par after 12, doing very well. Seamus Power is even par after 11, so he's doing well as well. Connors from Canada, who played very well in his own Open last week, still holding good form. Is at even par after 10, so he's doing well, doing solid on. Woodland is evens after 9, and Bland from Britain is even after 8 holes. So they're all there. DeChambeau is +1 after 9. Bryson DeChambeau, very exciting golfer to watch. I love watching him. Burns is, of course, is +1 after 12. Solid golfer as well, doing very well. And doing well. And what I say, excuse me, press the red button if you want to subscribe to our channel on the right hand side. And I'm just going down there. Jordan Speed finished at +2. And I don't know where Bruce Koepka is at +2 after 11. Bruce Koepka. So, and Kokrak is +2 as well. So they are hovering. But -3 isn't a big target set in the clubhouse the first day. So a lot of those very talented golfers should be fairly near to that. By the time Louis Oosthuizen is +4 after 10 holes, so he needs to maybe make up 1 or 2 shots. I don't know, that's my opinion on it. The +5s then are hovering, are playing with fire, one would say, the +5s, because that'll put you 8 shots behind going into the second round, put you under pressure, too much pressure. Phil is going the wrong way, unfortunately. Phil Mickelson is, he's there, you can see him on your screen there. Phil Mickelson is +6 after 10 holes, so it's looking unlikely that Phil Mickelson will be around for the weekend. But anyway, the competitor that he is, you never completely write him off, but I think really with Phil's talent, he undoubtedly has, no doubt about that. But I suppose with the emotion of last week's Live Golf tournament that he participated in my opinion, he's given way too many interviews, way too many interviews, in my opinion, whoever was advising him. And that would have an emotional drain on you anyway as a human being. And that itself then would impinge or have impact on your energy level as well, that emotional energy or that emotional draining of answering questions and all of that. So anyway, hopefully he might be able to pull back a few shots. He's 8 more holes as well to go, so really I think he should be able to pull back a few shots. So press the red button, SportsView is the thing, and as I said, the clubhouse lead is still being set by Rory Mcilroy at -3, and most of the people now are around the turn, as they say. The late finishers are on the turn, so I don't know what kind of impression they'll make, on it. Hopefully they will be able to make some impression on it, on the program. I don't know that, but anyway, we just hope that we'll see a lot of talented golfers there. We hope they'll see a lot of talented golfers there, and we hope that they will, that will, and we're hoping that people will come in now as well, and will come in and to the show, and of course it's coming up to 5 minutes to 10, 21:54 Irish time here on the show, and also we're concentrating on golf, but obviously there are other sports going on. I said we covered tennis as well, and now as we speak on the US Open, a man I was referring to back there who had fantastic form in his own Open in Canada, Mr. Hadwin from Canada, has gone to -4 after 9 holes. So now we will wonder, will he keep that up? Will he be able to keep that momentum up? I don't know. Justin Rose still, and Matt Fitzpatrick has gone back to -2 from -3. So he's dropped the shot, but nevertheless doing very well. He's plenty information, plenty time to hold up that, I don't know that, And John Ram finished -1. Oh, I like it. And Rogers from America. Justin Rose still a -2 after 10. So solid, but still going along very solidly. And Seamus Lowry is -1 after 10 holes as well. So he's doing well. Coming up to 4 minutes to 10 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time here on SportsView. Tell all your friends about us for live stream here, and we're looking forward to the weekend as well, as sporting action both here in Ireland, home and abroad as well. So, and we're looking forward to a live stream as well. And as I said, this is here our live stream. As I said, it will keep us going, our live stream, and we hope that you'll join us on that as well, on the live stream. And we have a guest coming in. The controller of programs will be joining us now. The controller of programs will be joining us on the show very soon. And
Hi.
That's our controller of programs. That's Mary Honan, and
Hi.
she's our controller. And Mary, of course, is a tennis expert. Well, not a tennis expert.
I've just played it. I suppose I'd play tennis and badminton and squash, racket sports. I tried playing. Basketball in school, but I was good at scoring, useless at tackling. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was.
Now, we sent out a link to people, so some people were just a bit short notice for some people anyway, Mary. But anyway, look, what we're doing, this is working well because it's a test transmission as well for us. It's our first time going live for a length of time. We're learning as we go along. StreamYard is what we're using, and visually, it seems to work all right, Mary. I don't know, sound wise and all, I think it's looking very well.
Yeah, it's looking very well, and the thing about it is, Martin Lennon was saying you can bring in the sports, the US golf. It's and there's segments of it up on YouTube, so you can actually bring those in by sharing them.
Yeah,
And
we will. We will certainly. We will go out live again tomorrow. I suppose that's the best thing for people
the
who
best
like
thing,
this.
but at least, Pat, then there'd be something that you could watch and comment on, and it would rest your voice.
By the time we go out tomorrow, we'll be 8:30 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time, Irish time. Will be our live stream will be beginning tomorrow evening. We're looking for punishment. I know I don't know, but anyway, we'll tell all your friends about us. You can come in. Anybody who wants to join us, Mary, as you know, we'll send them a link, like I sent you there now, just to keep me company. Because I'm here. I don't know how long I'm talking for. Probably way too long.
A quarter to eight.
An hour and 22 minutes. That's what I'm. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. I've been talking that long. But we've been talking all the time. But Wimbledon is starting next week. That, to my mind, I don't know, with all the furore, with the politicking of sports getting in the way of. I mean, there used to be incredible excitement before around Wimbledon. I myself was never a huge tennis fan growing up, but I always watched. My mum, God rest her, always had Wimbledon on. I remember the green grass on the screen when we graduated from black and white to colour television. Mum, you couldn't interrupt my mother. She loved the tennis. She loved Goran Ivanisevic, believe it or
I
not.
like Goran Ivanisevic
She
as
took
well.
to go. She took to Goran Ivanisevic. I think simply because the man tried so often to win it. You know what I mean? That she said, you know who I'm talking about, isn't it? She said, and Brian, what am I to Brian? My
Your
sister's
uncle.
son, I'm his uncle. Brian, won't mind me saying this, he's over in Poland now, Brian. But my mum more or less reared him because his mum was working, his dad was working. But she taught him to say Goran Ivanisevic when he was 3 or 4, I think. Goran Ivanisevic. And he has nicknamed to this very day as I'm going over to visit Vitch. That's his nickname. He won't mind me saying that, Vitch. And people who don't know about it don't know why he's called Vitch. He was able to say Goran Ivanisevic as clear as water before he could say
Yeah,
mum and dad, I dare say, I'll play. Isn't it amazing? But that was because of my mum, God rest her. But anyway, getting
yeah.
back to women,
They were great.
it's
They were
still.
great. They were great times, but yeah, they
Who's
were
your
great.
favorite? One of your
Really,
favorite players? I know
oh
one of your was
no,
Andre
my all-time favorite would be John McEnroe.
for
Simply,
Wimbledon, yeah.
he was everything. Followed closely by uh, um,
Andre.
well, no, Andre Agassi would be probably up in my top five, I would have to say. But the thing about it is, I like John McEnroe I loved his character as well, and I loved the fact that he left nothing go. He, he just didn't give in. He was, if he thought he was wronged, he had no problem saying it. And he was probably the first brat, really, on the tennis court. Do you know? Ivan
Well,
Lendl I liked as well, but Boris Becker was a real favorite of mine. Do you know? I
yeah,
liked the
yeah,
spirit.
he was so young, 87, 88, and or whatever years he won. He won 3 Wimbledons, didn't he?
He did.
He
And,
won through them. But
you know,
I suppose excluding the modern players like Federer and Nadal and Murray, my favourite player playing tennis, just watching him, was Vitas Gerulaitis.
Gerulaitis.
I loved watching Vitas. He wore his heart on his sleeve in every game. Man, he died way too young. Vitas Gerulaitis, that is.
But you know, they were characters. They were characters.
Well, like McEnroe. Sure, McEnroe was just fantastic.
The McEnroes, the Vitas
What-
Gerulaitis,
yeah.
Nastasi, Ili Nastasi,
Elena says, "Oh, what a character!" Yannick Noah.
Yannick Noah. They were all guys that just didn't really tolerate fools gladly. Connors, do you know? I mean,
Jimmy Connors was great.
a
Love Jimmy
brawl
Connors.
start when Jimmy Connors was playing, and especially if he was playing McEnroe. I remember being in Germany when John McEnroe beat Bjorn Borg for Wimbledon, the first Wimbledon that McEnroe won, and to the last man and woman in there, we were very young. We were over there dancing, and we were staying in a place called House to Daytonland, run by a very strict guy. And the girls were all upstairs and the boys were all downstairs. And then those that were actually staying in the hostel, studying German, they were all in the middle row. But everyone got together to watch the match, and everyone, the last, was shouting for McEnroe because he was born in Germany, and he was American but of Irish descent. So he was kind of somebody that was crossing over borders, if you like. But the Germans all wanted, and the Russians, they all wanted McEnroe to win. Do you know, any nationality, they all wanted Borg to be beaten, basically.
Well, Borg was a fabulous player. He doesn't get the credit he should be getting. I mean, to win any major in any sport, to win any major five times in a row, is just stunning. Stunning in my mind, and really and truly. But I suppose today, looking to Wimbledon today now, on the women's side of the draw, as I was saying earlier on in the programme, on the women's side of the draw, there's one outstanding player, Swiatek from Swiatek, on the women's side.
But I think logically, when all is said and done, I don't think Swiatek will be even in the same category as the likes of Steffi Graf and Martina Navratilova. Hannah, I mean, I loved Hannah Mandlikova, Hannah Mandlikova, and but the likes of Steffi Graf and Serena Williams, Venus Williams, all of them.
Martina Navratilova.
Chris Everett. When all is said and done, I think Swiatek is winning in an era where she hasn't got the likes of the Martina Navratilovas or the
Williamses.
Serena Williams. Serena Williams at her very best would,
Serena Williams has got a wild card entry, as I was saying earlier on in the programme, and I don't think she'd look for a wild card to Wimbledon if she hadn't done some serious training and preparation.
She hasn't currently done any training.
Well, then I don't know why she's going then.
She hasn't played any tournament whatsoever, but I think with Serena Williams, she is at her best when she's behind. She just refuses to give in. Now, whether I think she can beat Swiatek, I don't know.
But we have a few hovering, as I said. We have Jabour there from Tunisia, who's great form as well, who's good form, still holding form. She will challenge many of them. Young Goff from America, who was who was out of her depth on the clay in Roland Garros. It was not a final at all. It was just a practice match for Swiatek, which was very.
I don't think people talk and they dismiss Venus Williams or Serena Williams, but I really think even an unfit Serena Williams can never be dismissed, because what she lacks in her ability now to run like she used to, she's able to make up 10 times with her strength. I don't think there's a server in the game as good as Serena Williams, as powerful as Serena Williams. She can adapt her game, knowing that she's not as fit as she was, she's not as capable. Whether Swiatek will get her to move around the court more, or be given the ability or allowed to move her around the court, that's the danger. But if Swiatek isn't able to play her at her game, I think Serena Williams could be very dangerous.
Well, I think she'll do well to get into the second.
I'd love to see her equal Margaret Courts.
Oh, she has no hope in hell of winning it.
You don't know.
No, I think it'll be just America.
I think she has in the female game what the likes of Federer, Djokovic, and Nadal have in the male game, and the same with Becker. That's refusal under any circumstances to leave a ball go without chasing it down. And I mean, I think Nadal is probably the greatest in that respect, because he just never says die. He chases any ball down to the very last.
We'll assume that Murray and Nadal and Federer won't be playing, and Djokovic would be the favourite in the men's side, and obviously Berrettini. I fancy Berrettini to do serious damage.
I think it'll probably be Berrettini and Djokovic for the final if they don't meet beforehand.
Yeah, I don't know what the draw is like. I haven't seen it. I haven't looked at it yet, but I don't know. There's a lot of wild cards.
I think it'll be Djokovic, even though I'm not a Djokovic fan. I would be a Nadal super fan, but I'd like to see Djokovic and Nadal and be on the same, have the same slams. It just defies me beyond belief that Wimbledon have brought in this rule now where the Russian players cannot play. I mean, what are they supposed to do? They can't stand up to a dictator. Some of their families are still in Russia, and yet and the points have been taken away from them, so it's not a Grand Slam as such. It's more like a
was there something on the media today that they've restored the points? I don't know.
They've restored the points, as far as I know, for women. The WTA have restored the points, some of the points for women, half of them. So they get half the points from what
I don't know. It's a shambles. It's a shambles.
I mean, you look at the US Open or the US championships, and they're not allowed. They're allowing the Russian players to play. They won't allow Djokovic, who's had COVID, come into the country. But yet, if you look up their guidelines on the US page, the US Department of
Homeland
Security, you can come in without a vaccine if you're a politician or if you've got political
if you've got a diplomatic
immunity, you can come in. And my answer is, what's the difference between somebody like Djokovic, who's super fit and has had COVID and has the antibodies, and somebody who hasn't had the antibodies in their system but has diplomatic immunity? It just makes no sense. But yet you can come in if you're from Russia, you're a Russian player, which I believe they should be allowed in. I believe they should be allowed into Wimbledon. It's not their fault. And many of them are opposed to war. In fact, they're all opposed to war. And what more can they do? Sport should be above politics, in my view. You know, it's just bizarre now.
We had this discussion during the week on our sports forum about the golf and the Saudi Arabian money-backed Live Golf, and I was looking across CNN today, and their Living Golf. They have a program called Living Golf every week on CNN, and it's in association with Saudi Golf.
Yeah, but Saudi has such a horrific human rights history, and nobody is coming out in opposition to tournaments being played in Saudi Arabia, but yet they'll come out and they'll ban, they'll prevent a misfortunate player who has nothing and is opposed to the war, but can say no more than opposed to war. They can't come out, as I say, they can't come out and object to Putin or call it a crime if they have families still living in Russia.
Well, before we finish, Mary, there was the Untitled. Now it's almost 10:15 here in Ireland, which is 22:13 Greenwich Mean Time. We'll be on the air tomorrow night, the 17th of June. We'll be covering the second round of the US Open because it's a major competition, but we'll cover many other sports as well.
We'll have video footage tomorrow night. It won't be
we'll be better. I'll be better organised. But anyway, we had a good chat tonight, and obviously, I'm thinking that. Oh, by the way, the target in the US Open now, the target figure on the US Open before we go is young Hadwin, who had good form in the Canadian Open last week. He's on -4 after 9, so he's gone one ahead of McIlroy and the lads, and Matt Fitzpatrick is back up to -3. We were keeping an eye on those. Justin Thomas -2 after 13, just to finish up, and the two Irish players. Lowry is even par after 11, and Seamus Bardick is +1 after 12. So Mary Honan.
Can we ask everybody to hit the subscribe button? It's down here underneath me somewhere. And if you can click the like button and hit the bell, we would be greatly appreciative. And if anyone wants to come on at any stage who feel that they want to be part of the show, or you want to send us a message, you can pop the message in there in the section there for messages, and Pat will read them out. But certainly, please help us to reach 1,000 subscribes, because once we're at 667, so if you can help us to reach 1,000 subscribes, we'll be able to get our station or our channel monetized. So please help us reach 1,000.
Now that's our authoritative figure of our controller of programs speaking there, and who keeps me in check here. But lads, don't forget to join us tomorrow night at 8:30. Tell all your friends about it. We'll put up the usual notifications. And if you want to come into the studio at any time, as Mary said, we'll send you the link. You only press on the link and hit press to in the studio. So from Mary, yeah,
it goes into your email, and then you click on the long link, and you're in. You just type in your name, and you're into us. And it's very relaxed. You'll know us within 2 minutes.
Yeah, and welcome everybody, and thank you the people who took time to look at us and catch up this if you're interested in it. And we have we'll keep you updated on the golf tomorrow as well, and what other else coming up for the weekend sporting wise as well. So we keep an eye on the Gascoigne tournaments, the precursor to Wimbledon. Okay, so from this edition of SportsView, from myself, Pat Barry, from Mary Honan, until we meet again, lads, take care. Good watching on the sport, and tell everybody about it. Thank you.
Slán a bhaile.
Slán.